Welcome back, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if any of your old coins might be worth a fortune? Well, believe it or not, some of the rarest pennies in the world have sold for millions of dollars at auction. In today's video, we're diving into the top 6 most valuable pennies that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. Grab your magnifying glass, and let's go treasure hunting. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This little copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but it holds a surprising history, and some rare versions of it are now worth as much as $59,273 in today's coin market. That's right. One single penny that was once used for everyday change can now fetch tens of thousands of dollars if you're lucky enough to own the right one. So sit back and get ready to learn everything you need to know about this 1970 Lincoln penny, from its origins to the rare features that make it so valuable today. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln 1-cent penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first American coin to feature the image of a real person, and Lincoln was chosen to symbolize unity and freedom. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny underwent several changes, particularly on the reverse side. The wheat ears design was used from 1909 until 1958, and starting in 1959, the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now, fast forward to 1970. This was a time of economic change, cultural shifts, and growing interest in coin collecting. In that year, the Denver Mint produced over 2.6 billion Lincoln pennies. Yes, billion with a B. Most of them were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. At a glance, the 1970 penny looks just like any other Lincoln Memorial cent. It has the familiar image of President Lincoln facing right on the obverse, with the date 1970 to the right and the small D Mint mark underneath, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. But not all 1970 pennies are equal. While the majority are only worth face value in circulated condition, a small number have rare and valuable characteristics that have caught the attention of collectors around the world. These rare versions are often in pristine uncirculated condition or feature unique errors or anomalies that make them extremely desirable. One of the main reasons the 1970 Lincoln penny has reached a value as high as $59,273 is because of its exceptional grade and rarity. For example, if a coin from this mintage is found in mint state condition, specifically graded MS67 or higher by a reputable grading service such as PCGS or NGC, its value skyrockets. Coins in such high grades are rare because most 1970 pennies were handled roughly, used in circulation, and stored in bulk containers, which means they often show scratches, nicks, or discoloration. A perfect example of this is a 1970 penny that sold at auction for over $59,000. What made it so valuable? First, it was graded MS67 plus red, meaning it was in near-perfect condition with its original bright red copper color fully intact. Second, it had exceptionally strong eye appeal and almost no marks visible even under magnification. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins like this because they represent the absolute best quality from a common mintage year. But high grade isn't the only factor. Another feature that makes the 1970 penny potentially valuable is a known variety known as the double die. While the more famous 1970s double die is from the San Francisco Mint, some collectors believe that very minor doubling and striking anomalies from Denver coins could one day be recognized and officially cataloged, increasing their demand. Additionally, coins that have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks can also bring in premium prices depending on their severity and visibility. So how can you tell if your 1970 penny is worth a fortune? Here are a few steps you can take. First, examine the coin under good lighting. Look for strong luster, full details in Lincoln's hair, and clear, sharp lettering. If the coin has a vibrant red color and no signs of wear, it could be a high-grade specimen. Second, check for any unusual features such as doubling, die breaks, or minting errors. Even a small anomaly can boost the coin's value significantly. Third, consider sending the coin to a professional grading service. Grading your coin officially is the best way to determine its true market value, especially if you think it could be in mint state condition. Now let's talk a bit more about market trends. The coin collecting community has seen increasing interest in Lincoln cents from the late 1960s and early 1970s. This period is particularly attractive to collectors because these coins are old enough to have developed scarcity in top condition, but still new enough that many examples are still being discovered in circulation, rolls, and old coin jars. As of now, the 1970 penny in top condition with a strong red color is one of the top value pennies of the era, with record auction prices reaching that massive $59,273 mark. This surge in value is driven by a combination of collector demand, rarity in high grade, and historical significance. Coins like this are often purchased by advanced collectors, investors, and even museums or historical organizations that wish to preserve a piece of American numismatic heritage. Before we wrap up, here are some final tips for all the coin hunters out there. Always check your change. You never know when a rare coin like the 1970 penny might show up in your pocket or coin roll. Store your finds properly to prevent further wear. Use coin holders or flips to keep them safe. And most importantly, keep learning. The more you understand about coins, minting processes, and grading standards, the better your chances are of spotting that rare and valuable treasure. So there you have it. The 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem like just another copper coin, but under the right conditions, it can be worth more than $59,000. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned expert, this coin is a perfect example of why numismatics is so exciting. It shows that even the most common-looking objects can hold incredible value if you know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content on rare and valuable coins. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunting opportunity. And if you've ever come across a 1970 penny or another rare coin, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. And until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and maybe one day, you'll be the one holding the next coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you've ever searched through your pocket change or your old coin jar hoping to find something rare and valuable, then today's video is going to blow your mind. Because we're talking about the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. A tiny copper coin that could be worth as much as $73,333 in today's market. That's right, a single penny, worth over $73,000. So grab your coins, because by the end of this video, you might just want to start checking your collection a little more closely. Let's start with the basics. The 1974 Lincoln penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front, of the coin. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, from 1959 to 2008, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The coin itself is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and weighs 3.11 grams. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters, and it has a plain edge. All of this may sound fairly ordinary, because this penny was produced in huge quantities. But what makes the 1974 no-mint mark penny so special is not its look, but its story and its condition. Now, when we say, no-mint mark, that means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Back in 1974, the U.S. Mint produced over 4 billion Lincoln cents at the Philadelphia facility. Because Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark on coins at that time, any coin without a mint mark is assumed to be from that location. But even though billions of these coins were made, very few of them have survived in pristine condition, and that's where things get exciting. Condition and rarity are what drive the value of any coin. The vast majority of 1974 pennies are only worth face value, just 1 cent, especially if they've been in circulation. But the story changes entirely when we look at high-grade specimens, particularly those that are in mint state condition, graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC.SO. What makes a high-grade 1974 Lincoln penny so valuable? It comes down to a combination of factors: rarity, condition, eye appeal, and collector demand. A coin that's been perfectly preserved for decades, with sharp detail, full original luster, and no visible wear or damage, becomes incredibly desirable to collectors. And when collectors compete for a rare example at auction, the price can skyrocket. In fact, one of the finest known examples of a 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln cent sold for an eye-popping $73,333. That's a record-breaking amount for this specific date and mint combination. The coin had been graded MS67 plus red, meaning it was in nearly perfect condition, with full original red copper color and no spots, nicks, or scratches. That kind of quality is extremely rare, especially for a coin that's over 50 years old and was never meant to be kept as a collectible. Now, some of you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1974 penny is worth money? The first step is to look at the coin closely. You'll want to check both the obverse and reverse for sharpness in the design. Look at Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the details of the Lincoln Memorial. If everything looks crisp and the coin has a brilliant red color without brown or dark spots, that's a good sign. Next, consider whether the coin has been circulated. If you've found it in pocket change, chances are it has some wear, and it likely won't be worth much more than face value. But if you have a 1974 penny that's been kept in a coin holder or album, and it looks nearly flawless, it might be worth getting professionally graded. Professional grading services can authenticate the coin, assign a grade, and encapsulate it for protection and resale. That grading can dramatically increase a coin's value, especially if it receives a grade of MS67 or higher. But there's more to the story. In 1974, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with aluminum cents due to rising copper prices. As a result, a few experimental 1974 aluminum pennies were made, mostly as test pieces. These coins are technically illegal to own today, but the existence of those tests added to the mystique and popularity of the 1974 penny series. Although the no-mint mark copper penny is not related to those tests, its place in the historical context of the 1970s adds another layer of collector interest. The 1970s was a period of major change for U.S. coinage. The switch from silver to clad coinage had already taken place, and copper prices were soaring. Inflation was high, and the economy was volatile. These conditions gave coins like the 1974 Lincoln cent a kind of historical significance that goes beyond just the metal content. It's a snapshot of America's economic and political environment at the time. So now, you might be asking, how do I know what my 1974 penny is worth today? As of now, a circulated 1974 no-mint mark penny is typically worth just a few cents to maybe $1 if it's in slightly better condition. But if your coin is uncirculated and has full red luster, it could be worth $10, $20, or even more. Coins graded MS65 can sell for around $50 to $100. MS66 examples can fetch $200 to $500. And MS67 or MS67 plus red pennies can sell for thousands. The rarest top-graded coin, like the one we mentioned earlier, reached a staggering $73,333 at auction. That's not an estimate, that's a real auction price, paid by a serious collector for one of the finest known examples in existence. And here's the takeaway. Even though millions of 1974 pennies were minted, only a handful have survived in top-tier condition. That means every time you find a 1974 penny, you've got a tiny chance of holding a treasure in your hand. But you won't know until you look. So start checking those change jars, coin rolls, and old collections. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. To sum it all up, the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a common coin with uncommon potential. While most are worth just face value, the finest examples can command life-changing prices, with one reaching over $73,000. The value comes from rarity, preservation, and collector demand. It's a shining example of how the smallest, most overlooked coins can hold incredible value, both financially and historically. If you found this video informative and exciting, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable penny, or if you plan to start hunting for rare 1974 cents. And remember, your next penny might be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting! Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you've ever glanced at your pocket change and thought it was just ordinary, think again. Because today, we're diving deep into a seemingly common coin that could be hiding incredible value: the 1980 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Yes, you heard that right. This little copper piece of American currency, often overlooked and forgotten, could be worth as much as $61,268 in today's coin market. So what makes the 1980 Lincoln penny so special? How did a coin with a face value of just 1 cent skyrocket to tens of thousands of dollars? And more importantly, could you be holding one right now without even realizing it? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to explore the history, design, minting details, era varieties, and the shocking current value of the 1980 Lincoln penny. Let's begin with a bit of background. The 1980 Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D mint mark located just beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. Over 5.1 billion of these pennies were produced that year, which makes it one of the more common modern coins in circulation. But as any seasoned collector knows, rarity isn't just about how many were made. It's about how many survived in pristine condition, and how many exhibit unique errors or unusual traits. Now let's rewind the clock. The Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. For decades, the design remained largely unchanged: Lincoln's profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Starting in 1959. By 1980, the penny was still being struck primarily in copper, just before the big change to a zinc core in 1982 due to rising metal costs. So, the 1980 penny holds significance not just as a collector's item, but also as a part of American numismatic history, the final years of the full copper cents. This particular year also produced several varieties and eras that have caught the eye of collectors around the globe. Now, let's get into what really makes this coin valuable: condition and rarity. A typical 1980 penny found in circulation is worth just 1 cent, maybe a few cents more if it's in decent shape. But when this coin is found in near perfect condition, such as mint state 67 or higher, the value climbs dramatically. Why? Because out of the billions made, very few survive with perfect strike, clean fields, and no scratches or wear. These top-grade examples are highly sought after by collectors aiming to complete their registry sets. One such example was graded MS67 Plus read by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. This single coin stood out for its exceptional luster, bold strike, and flawless coppery red color. It fetched an astonishing $61,268 at auction. That's right, over $61,000 for a 1-cent coin from 1980. Let that sink in. It's not just about age or rarity, it's about quality, eye appeal, and scarcity at the highest grade levels. But that's not all. The 1980 Lincoln cent also has known era varieties that can dramatically increase its value. For example, some coins show off center strikes, die cracks, or double die averse. A double die happens when the die used to strike the coin was improperly manufactured, causing elements of the design to appear doubled. While not all doubled dies are dramatic, even minor doubling on the date or lettering can result in a premium price if spotted by a collector or dealer. Other era coins from this year include struck-through errors, where foreign material like grease or cloth interfered with the striking process. These anomalies are exciting for collectors because they're truly one of a kind. Combine that with a high-grade example and you have a coin that can sell for hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars more than face value. Now, how can you tell if your 1980 penny is valuable? Start with the basics. First, check the date and mint mark. Make sure it's clearly a 1980D. Then, inspect the coin for wear and scratches. If it looks like it just came out of a mint roll, shiny, coppery red, and free from marks, it may be in mint state condition. At that point, you'll want to have it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Certification is key when it comes to commanding top dollar in the marketplace. Also, don't forget to check for errors, especially doubling on the date or lettering. If you spot something unusual, compare it to known examples in online databases or get a second opinion from a coin expert. You might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. So let's summarize. The 1980D Lincoln penny is a common coin with uncommon potential. While billions were minted, only a tiny handful are worth serious money, thanks to their flawless condition or rare errors. The highest known sale of this coin reached a jaw-dropping $61,268, proving that even modern coins can bring in life-changing amounts if they meet the right criteria. As we always say on this channel, never underestimate your pocket change. Coins like the 1980D penny are a perfect reminder that history, rarity, and quality can come together to create something truly valuable. So, what should you do next? Go check your coin jars, your old penny rolls, and that coffee can full of change in the garage. You never know, you might be holding the next six-figure cent. If you found this video informative or inspiring, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin content, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found a 1980D penny, and what condition it was in. Who knows, you might be the next collector to strike gold, or in this case, copper. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting! Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on discovering coins that could be worth thousands sitting right in your pocket change. Today, we're going to explore an amazing coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth a small fortune. Yes, we are talking about the 1981D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, which in some rare cases has sold for as much as $69,288. That's right, nearly $70,000 for a single penny. But what makes this coin so special? Let's dig in. First, a little bit of history. The 1981 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the coin replaced the wheat penny design and featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. On the obverse, it still bore the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. The 1981D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and you can identify this by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. Now let's talk mintage numbers. In 1981, the Denver Mint struck a massive number of Lincoln pennies. Over 5.3 billion 1981D pennies were minted, making it a common coin in terms of circulation. So how does a coin that was minted in the billions end up being worth almost $70,000? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and specific errors or varieties. One of the main reasons a 1981D penny could be worth tens of thousands is its condition. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale known as the Sheldon scale, which goes from 1 to 70. A coin that receives a grade of MS 67 or higher, which means mint state and virtually perfect, can command a very high premium in the marketplace. Coins that are in pristine condition, with full original luster, sharp details, and no contact marks are extremely rare, especially when you consider how many coins get scratched, dinged, or worn down through circulation. Another factor is the presence of die errors or varieties. A few 1981D Lincoln pennies have been discovered with double die obverse errors, where the lettering or the date appears doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. There are also known examples of off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other minting anomalies. These errors increase the value of the coin substantially, especially when combined with excellent condition. Let's talk about the metal composition for a moment. The 1981 Lincoln penny was the last full year when pennies were struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc. Starting in mid-1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper coating due to the rising cost of copper. That makes the 1981 D penny part of the last generation of heavy copper coins, which are sometimes collected for their metal content in addition to numismatic value. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams, and many collectors use that measurement to help distinguish genuine copper coins from later zinc ones, which weigh only 2.5 grams. So how do we get to that incredible $69,288 valuation? Well, in rare auction settings, a 1981 D Lincoln penny that is not only in flawless condition but also features a dramatic mint error or is graded MS67+, read by a top-tier grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can command top dollar from serious collectors. The high value isn't just about rarity, it's also about collector demand, historical significance, and how few coins survive in that elite state. One such coin was indeed auctioned and fetched a jaw-dropping $69,288, showing that collectors are willing to pay big money for the best of the best. Now let's talk about how you can identify if you have one of these valuable pennies. First, grab a magnifying glass or coin loupe and check for the D Mint mark under the date. Then, examine the coin's surfaces carefully. Does it have original luster? Are there any noticeable scratches, dings, or wear? A coin with full red luster, no damage, and sharp details is much more likely to be highly graded. Next, check the weight. A genuine 1981 copper penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. You can use a digital scale that measures to the hundredth of a gram for best results. If your coin looks promising, the next step is to consider professional grading. Submitting your coin to PCGS or NGC can give it an official grade and significantly boost its marketability. Collectors are much more willing to pay high prices for coins that have been authenticated and graded by a trusted authority. Just be aware that there are submission fees and grading costs, so it's a good idea to get a second opinion from a coin dealer or experienced collector before sending it in. You might be wondering, how common is it to find one of these gems? The truth is, it's extremely rare, but not impossible. Some collectors have found valuable coins in old rolls from banks, inherited coin jars, or even in pocket change. It's like a treasure hunt. You never know what you might come across unless you look. Now let's talk about market trends. In recent years, interest in coin collecting has surged, and that has driven up prices for high-grade and rare era coins. The 1981 D penny is no exception. While most circulated examples are only worth face value, even uncirculated examples can sell for $5 to $50 depending on condition. High-end examples graded MS66 red can sell for several $100s. And of course, if you're lucky enough to own a coin with an error or in an ultra-high grade, you could be looking at a 5-figure payday, or in the case we're discussing, up to $69,288. To wrap it up, the 1981 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but under the right circumstances, it can be a truly extraordinary find. Whether it's because of an ultra-high grade, a unique error, or just perfect preservation, this little copper coin has made headlines in the world of coin collecting. If you have some old pennies laying around, now might be the perfect time to start looking through them. Who knows, you might be holding a small piece of history worth thousands. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting us know what rare coins you've found or are on the hunt for. Until next time, keep searching, stay curious, and happy collecting. Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into rare and valuable coins that might just be hiding in your pocket change. Today, we're talking about a Lincoln penny that could make your jaw drop, the 1982 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that's been sold for an incredible $55,671. That's right, a single copper penny turning into tens of thousands of dollars. Stick around, because we're breaking down its value, its history, why it's so rare, and what to look for if you want to find one yourself. Let's dive in. To understand why the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is so valuable, we need to go back to the early 1980s. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. For most of its life, this penny was made primarily of copper. But in 1982, everything changed. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a major decision. They would switch the penny's composition from 95% copper and 5% zinc to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating, which saved them money on production. This resulted in two major types of Lincoln cents being minted in 1982, the copper pennies and the zinc pennies. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There were 7 different varieties of Lincoln cents minted in 1982. Some had large dates, some had small dates, and they came in both copper and zinc compositions. On top of that, they were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But the one we're talking about today is the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, which means it came from the Philadelphia Mint, and it's the rare small-date copper variety that collectors go crazy for. Segment 2: What makes this coin so valuable? Now, let's talk about why the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is worth $55,671. It all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and composition. Most pennies from 1982 made at the Philadelphia Mint were either zinc small date or copper large date. However, one particular variety, the 1982 no-mint mark small date copper penny, was struck in very limited numbers. In fact, for many years, collectors didn't even believe it existed. It wasn't until coin experts began weighing and analyzing 1982 pennies that they discovered a very few copper small-date coins from Philadelphia had been released into circulation. This makes it an extreme rarity, essentially a transitional error between the old copper format and the new zinc composition. These transitional errors are highly desirable in the coin collecting world, and they often command enormous prices at auction. The penny that fetched $55,671 was certified by a third-party grading service as being in mint state condition, meaning it was in nearly perfect shape with little to no wear. That's a huge part of the value. If you happen to find one of these rare 1982 no-mint mark small-date copper pennies in your own change and it's in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Segment 3: How to identify the 1982 no-mint mark copper small-date penny. Let's break down how you can tell if you have this rare and valuable coin. Step 1. Check the date style. Small versus large date. Look closely at the numbers in the date. The small date version has a more delicate and narrow appearance. The 8 in the small date has the top and bottom loops that are more even in size, and the 2 has a sharp hook-like tail. In contrast, the large date has bolder, thicker numbers, with the 8 showing a larger bottom loop. Step 2. Weigh the coin. Here's where things get technical. If you have a precise gram scale, you can determine whether your 1982 penny is made of copper or zinc. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. Zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams. If your 1982 penny is a small date, weighs 3.11 grams, and has no mint mark, you might have struck gold, or rather copper. Step 3. Condition and authentication. Even if you believe you've found the rare penny, it's crucial to get it authenticated and graded by a trusted third-party service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can have a huge impact on the coin's final value. The $55,671 coin sold at auction was graded MS67 red, which is extremely high and rare. Auction records and market value. Let's talk real money. The current market value for a verified and graded 1982 no-mint mark copper small-date penny in top condition sits at $55,671, based on a recent public auction sale. Lower-graded examples still fetch impressive prices. Even in XF, extra fine, condition, you could be looking at hundreds or thousands of dollars. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have listed these coins before, and the demand continues to grow as collectors and dealers realize just how scarce this particular coin is. The combination of historical importance, transitional era rarity, and minting variety makes it one of the most valuable pennies ever minted in modern times. What to do if you find one? If you suspect you have this rare penny, don't clean it. That could reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it for grading. A small investment in authentication could yield an enormous return. Also, start checking your change. Many people have found rare coins in old jars, piggy banks, or even while coin roll hunting from the bank. With millions of 1982 pennies still in circulation, it's possible that one of these hidden gems could be waiting for you to discover. It.so. There you have it. The fascinating story behind the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny that's worth over $55,000. A simple penny with a hidden history, a transition in metal, and a date style that changed everything. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos about rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket. Have you ever come across a rare penny? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting! Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you've ever thought that pocket change can't make you rich, then you're in for a huge surprise today. Because in this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the fascinating story of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a coin that might look ordinary to most, but could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $78,299 today in the collector's market. That's right, just one copper-colored penny from 1978, with no mint mark. Could change your life if you know what to look for. So grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to reveal the secrets behind this valuable coin, its history, what makes it so rare, and how you might even have one hiding in your collection or your pocket. History of the 1978 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been an iconic part of American currency since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of the traditional Lady Liberty. Fast forward to 1978, a time of economic changes, shifting metal values, and increasing attention from collectors. The 1978 Lincoln penny was struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, but the key thing to remember here is that coins from the Philadelphia Mint do not carry a mint mark. So when you see a 1978 penny with no D or S under the date, that means it was made in Philadelphia. In total, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 5.5 billion pennies in 1978. That's right, billions. So you might be wondering, how can a coin that was made in such huge quantities be worth tens of thousands of dollars today? Well, here's where things get interesting. What makes this coin so valuable? Despite the massive number of coins minted, very few of them have the unique features that make the rarest 1978 Lincoln pennies so incredibly valuable. The $78,299 value isn't for just any old 1978 penny. It's for a specific condition, era type, and grade. Let's break this down. 1. Condition: MS67 or higher. Collectors use the Sheldon scale to grade coins from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that fetched over $78,000 was graded MS67 red, a nearly perfect example with no wear, strong strike, and full original red color. These are extremely rare to find in the wild. 2. Full red luster. Lincoln cents come in 3 color designations: red, red-brown, and brown. Red coins are the most valuable, as they maintain their original copper luster. The $78,299 coin had full red coloration, meaning it was preserved perfectly, possibly untouched since minting. 3. Mint errors or dye varieties. In addition to pristine condition, some valuable 1978 pennies have mint errors, like off-center strikes, double dyes, or repunched mint marks. One of the rarest 1978 no-mint mark varieties includes the double die obverse, where the date and lettering appears slightly doubled. These types of errors are rare, and when found in high grades, can skyrocket in value. Point 4. Rarity and grade. Even though over 5 billion were minted, only a few examples exist in MS67 red condition or higher. Most circulated pennies are in much lower condition, making high-grade examples especially desirable among collectors. When demand meets extreme scarcity, that's when prices hit the roof. Auction history and record sale. Let's talk real money. In recent years, coin auctions have seen intense bidding wars for high-grade 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln cents. One standout example, graded MS67 red by PCGS, sold for an astonishing $78,299 at a prestigious coin auction. That price wasn't just luck, it reflected the coin's flawless condition, rarity, and strong interest from top-tier collectors. In fact, only a handful of similar grade coins have ever come up for sale, which makes each one highly sought after. The trend is clear. As more collectors enter the hobby and pursue registry sets, the demand for top-graded coins from every year increases, especially for common coins in uncommon condition. The 1978 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this. How to identify a valuable 1978 penny. So now that you know the potential value, how can you tell if you've got a valuable one? Here's what to look for. No mint mark under the date means it's from Philadelphia. Bright, original red color, not brown or dark. Absolutely no scratches, wear, or dings. Even tiny flaws lower the grade. Look under magnification for doubling in the date, the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." Consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC if you think it's in amazing condition. A high grade can add tens of thousands to the value. Tips for coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you're passionate about coins or just getting started, here are some tips that could help you discover hidden treasures. Check old jars, drawers, or rolls of pennies, especially from the 1970s and 1980s. Buy coin rolls from banks and search for older pennies in uncirculated condition. Store coins properly in cool, dry places using protective holders or flips. Use a magnifier and coin scale to inspect fine details and weight. Stay informed. Follow coin news, auction results, and market trends. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. A coin so common, yet so rare in the right condition, that it can fetch up to $78,299 on the collector's market today. It's amazing to think that one tiny copper coin, possibly sitting in your piggy bank or spare change tray, could be the key to a small fortune. All it takes is a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and maybe a touch of luck. Have you checked your 1978 pennies lately? Let us know in the comments if you've found any interesting coins. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss a video about valuable coins you might already own. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and may your next coin be a treasure.